you suggesting that Obama's leadership on Iran was better? Because
I heard him first. I said, hold on. I said, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Under President Obama, there were 14 wire transfers to a, hold on. There were 14 wire transfers to a Swiss account linked to Hezbollah between 2014 and 2016. That was a total of $1.7 billion. The same $1.7 billion he told Congress was frozen Iranian assets. Now, there was a back channel to Tehran through Valerie Jarrett, active for 2012 to 2024. This was after he left office. So, it was almost like a shadow government.
Okay,
he also
we are
sent
cooked.
Pellets of cash.
Yep, we are absolutely cooked,
Chat. Why would you
GG.
send money to Iran knowing that they are building a nuclear weapon and they are the leading sponsor of terrorism?
Iran just rejected the latest ceasefire proposal, and I think most people are completely missing what this actually means, because this is no longer about just diplomacy. This is about the Strait of Hormuz, global energy markets, and whether Iran believes it can survive the pressure that's building around it right now. And the really important part, the proposal itself tells you where the real crisis is. Not Tehran, not Washington. It's the Strait of Hormuz. And that's why you're suddenly seeing negotiations focused on shipping lanes, tanker security, and military escalation in the Gulf instead of just nuclear talks. If Hormuz becomes unstable, the economic consequences hit the entire world almost indefinitely and immediately. Now, here's one thing that I can't understand. This is the counter proposal Iran sort of sent back: ending the naval blockade, restoring full freedom to export oil, lifting U.S. sanctions, unfreezing Iranian assets, securing a ceasefire in Lebanon, maintaining Iranian control over the Strait of Hormuz. What sort of leniency, what sort of accommodations have they made? Because I can't see anything here that Iran is giving up. Now, I don't see any mention of uranium. Is that it? Do they think that they are that important? Does Iran think that they control the world and control everything happening? And the first comment's amazing. Without the Strait, the Islamic regime has no cards, and Trump should reopen the Strait with overwhelming force, restart Operation Epic Fury, keep the naval blockade in place, remove from power the current Ayatollah, and use drone strikes against the IRGC. This is where we're at. Iran thinks, or whoever is in charge there, thinks that they have a lot of leverage. And I don't believe the leverage they have is enough for us to go along with any of this. I'd love to get your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Are any of these applicable? Is this an amicable deal? Or does this just go back to Iran giving the world nothing in exchange for everything? I've said it before. Iran has never won a war, never lost a negotiation. And for 10 presidents, that's the way that it's kind of been. Now, there was a very interesting exchange on the Sunday morning shows this morning with Maria Bartiromo. And I want you to see this because, and this is reposted by a friend of mine, Dean Cain, Superman. Ro Khanna went on with Maria Bartiromo, and I believe he just kind of ruined his reputation, whatever he's got left.
Are you suggesting that Obama's leadership on Iran was better? Because under President Obama, there were 14 wire transfers to a, hold on. There were 14 wire transfers to a Swiss account linked to Hezbollah between 2014 and 2016. That was a total of $1.7 billion. The same $1.7 billion he told Congress was frozen Iranian assets. Now, there was a back channel to Tehran through Valerie Jarrett, active for 2012 to 2024. This was after he left office. So it was almost like a shadow government. He also sent pellets of cash in a plane to Iran. Now, why would you send money to Iran knowing that they are building a nuclear weapon and they are the leading sponsor of terrorism?
I can't wait to hear this guy's answer to this, because I don't know how you do answer this. How can you say President Obama was better at handling Iran when Maria just gave that information out? Okay, let's see how this plays out.
Barack Obama was a great statesman who left America much safer. I wouldn't put Donald Trump in the same paragraph. The reality is when President Obama left, because of the great efforts of people like Valerie Jarrett, we had 97% of the enriched uranium out. The reality is we didn't have 13 American service members dead. The reality is we never had gas.
Obama dropped more drones than any president ever. He was the drone striker in chief. He actually deported more people than President Trump has. So think about that. None of those things go along with that party's mentality.
Gas go up from $2.30 to $4. The reality is we did not give China more role in the region. Let me finish, Maria. I'll let you finish.
Okay,
we didn't give China more role in the region. We did not give the IRGC a more hardline regime in there. You know why? Because Obama actually did his homework. He actually tried to engage in statesmanship. He got China, Russia.
He paid people that do horrible things. That's what Obama did. He sent billions of dollars to people for them to chant DTA. How is this guy not recognizing that?
The entire European allies on board with getting Iran on a path to not having a nuclear weapon. All Trump did is listen to Netanyahu. It's his entire foreign policy.
Oh,
and you know what?
Okay.
I resent the fact that Israel is going to tell the United States what to do. The American president should call the shots in this country.
Well, the American president should call the shots in this country, but you and your colleagues are trying to clip his wings right now with this war powers vote. I agree. The president is in charge. But look, a lot of the things that you just said are just not true, Congressman. I mean, look, we have to look at this realistically. And President Obama sent money to the Iranians. And what did they do? They resumed their buildup of enrichment.
That's not true.
Yeah,
not true.
What's not true? What's not true? What specifically about?
How can he go on national TV, sitting member of Congress, and say that what Obama did was not true? The money that Obama gave to Iran, they used it to enrich uranium. They used it to build their nuclear weapons program. They used it against their own people. They used it in attacks around the world. They used it in funding Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Taliban. They used it in funding these proxy wars. How is this guy a sitting member of Congress? Maybe we should ask Sean Ryan, because he had him on his show 2 times. Maybe that's who we should be talking to.
There was a deal that we reached to get 97% of the enriched uranium out. In the process of that, Iran had certain assets that were wasn't our money, that was unfrozen. And that was a deal that China, Russia, France, UK, Canada, the United States all agreed. And then you had Netanyahu come in and try to torpedo it, and APEC.
President Obama sent the money. When you run out of excuses as a politician or anyone that is not a clear thinker, they do one thing. They blame Israel. That is their goal. That is how this works, guys. That's how it works. Blame Israel for everything.
AIPAC tried to torpedo that deal.
Here we go.
We were on a path to having a nuclear Iran, but what happened is it wasn't in Netanyahu's interest and AIPAC's interest, and they've dragged us into another war in the Middle East. They've hurt American people.
This is the same guy that gave away a bunch of names in Congress for Epstein partners that were wrong. He used the wrong names. He slandered and put innocent people's lives at risk by saying that they were Epstein business associates. That's who this is. Let's talk to Sean Ryan and see what he says. Are you going to push back on this?
Tired of it. They want people who are going to be Team America. They want people who are going to bring gas prices down here and care about our nation and get us out of these wars.
He's in California where gas is like $8 a gallon. And he's going to talk about gas prices. He's in California. They shut down every oil refinery in California. And now they are screwed. Their gas prices are through the roof. They've got a governor that just keeps raising prices, raising taxes. And he's going to preach to me why I shouldn't support that party and why Obama was a good statesman. When did becoming a good statesman fall under just send them your cash? Right? What in the world is going on here? I can't believe Ro Khanna went this way. And I'm so glad that Maria held this guy accountable and just called him out for his absolute mountain of untruths. Now, there's more information coming out here. This is CNN. Iran's injured supreme leader out of public view, but still shaping strategy. Leave it to CNN to say that this guy is actually doing something. No one knows if he's actually alive. I want a proof of life photo with a Times magazine or a newspaper. Get proof of life, because I don't believe this guy is anywhere near the capability to make decisions for this country. Sadly, it's probably the reason the IRGC is so out of control. Now, we've got another article here coming from Just the News. John Solomon, 47 years, President Trump calls them out, saying that in a social media post, I believe we've got the entire post here, Iran's been playing games in the United States and the rest of the world for 47 years. And then finally it hit pay dirt when Barack Hussein Obama became president. It was not only good to them, he was great. Actually going to their side, jettisoning Israel, all other allies, giving Iran a major, very powerful new lease on life, hundreds of billions of dollars, 1.7 billion in green cash flown into Tehran, was handed to them on a silver platter, probably gold. Every bank in D.C., Virginia, and Maryland was emptied out. It was so much money that when it arrived, the Iranian thugs had no idea what to do with it. They had never seen money like this and will never again. It was taken off the plane in suitcases, satchels. Sounds like they needed a forklift. And Iranians couldn't believe their luck. They finally found the greatest sucker of all time. He was a disaster as our leader, but not as bad as Sleepy Joe. For 47 years, the Iranians have been tapping us along, keeping us waiting, killing our people with their roadside bombs, destroying protests, and recently wiping out 42,000 unarmed, innocent protesters. Laughing at our great country again, they will be a laughing matter no longer. This sounds like Operation Epic Fury is about to kick back up. This sounds like we are about to start warming up the engines again. And we've got a bunch of Gulf states that are now coming under fire. I want you to hear this. Sorry for the longer video, but there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of unpacking on Mother's Day.
Meanwhile, in the Middle East, a cargo ship off the coast of Qatar erupting in flames after a drone strike, putting the fragile ceasefire to the test. This as Iran has reportedly responded to the latest U.S. peace proposal. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yanks has more from Tel Aviv. Hello, Trey.
Mike, good afternoon. Iran has responded to the U.S. proposal. According to state media, the key issue of the country's nuclear program was not discussed, according to outlets that said the Iranian delegation gave that response to the Pakistanis. Now, this does come after another attack occurred this morning against a cargo ship off the coast of Qatar. An unknown projectile hit the vessel 23 nautical miles northeast of Doha, according to the UK Maritime Agency. The explosion did cause a small fire, but it is under control, according to reports. That incident highlights the latest in a series of events in the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz that show Iran is testing the fragile ceasefire.
From our perspective, a naval blockade is considered a military act, and a military act receives a military response. Let them
Right, okay. A military act receives a military response. That sounds like what we have been doing to Iran. Leave a comment down below. I'd like to get your opinion on this. Want some feedback. Maybe I'm wrong.
Understand this. From now on, they should assign several additional escorts to their destroyers so that if one of them starts sinking, they can at least rescue and evacuate their naval forces.
While the region waits to see how Iran will respond in what capacity to that U.S. proposal to end the war, President Trump shared a series of AI images overnight depicting Iran's navy at the bottom of the sea. President Trump was asked over the weekend about the expected Iranian response, saying this.
Do you think they're slow rolling it? Do you think they're intentionally slow?
We'll find out soon enough.
We're also tracking developments out of Gaza, where Hamas has already passed a deadline where they were supposed to lay down their arms. An advisor to Israeli Prime Minister Ben.
So here we've got Hamas getting back to business with Israel in Lebanon. They have not given up any weapons. They've made no backtracking on the way that they're handling things. Things are about to resume. And I believe that one thing this current president has done is refused to negotiate with terrible groups. And you know the word I want to use here. You cannot negotiate with people like this. They don't understand normal reality. These people will put on a vest and do exactly what you know what I'm talking about. That's how much they care about the loss of life. It does not bother them one bit. And you can't negotiate with them. At some point, we're going to get back to the real action, and it's going to come from the sky. I predict it's probably going to come tonight, because if they don't want to give up their power and make some negotiating realistic, then we're just going to have to beat the bully out of them. And that's what happens right now. This is going to be a fiery response from the United States military. This is going to be something probably we've never seen before. We are going to see some things happen there that are not going to be nice, but our United States military is prepared. But we've been pushed back on long enough. Iran does not want to negotiate, or at least one faction does not want to negotiate, the IRGC. They're continuing to threaten ships, and that signals escalation in the Gulf. And what Iran actually rejected is probably the best chance of them to maintain some level of sovereignty there. They have lost all negotiating power by not giving up anything willingly. So it seems like now we're just going to go and take it. And from a military standpoint, this is exactly the kind of environment where small incidents turn into very big problems. And that's what we're going to see happen probably in the next 24 hours. Probably tonight. It's already dark there. It's going to get really dark, and I would imagine they're going to turn off some power to some of these facilities there. I want you to see this. This is Iran sends a response to the U.S. proposal. They sent their response. This has got all of the stuff here that they do not want to make any negotiations with. They don't want to give up uranium. They don't want to give up enrichment. They don't want to allow free and fair traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. And I think this time tomorrow that we're going to see this map littered with a few more of these brown aircraft, because that's exactly what that means. That means where U.S. aircraft have been running sorties and bombing runs, and we're probably going to see more of that. It's a sad situation, but when Iran doesn't want to make any movement, they don't want to give up any power, then you just got to take it. This is the Ben Dykes Show. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate you. Smash the like, subscribe. What do you think should happen? Is it time to quit making a deal? Is it time to just finish this? That's where we're at. Stay tuned. See you in the next one.